Great. So you said you had your first abortion right at the beginning of the pandemic.
Hmm.
When you're going through that experience, did you tell anyone what was going on?
Yeah, I haven't told I didn't tell my parents, um, but I told the partner at the time, and yeah, I actually took the test like the day before lockdown. I remember because we had one last I know that at this point that sounds very irresponsible. We had one last get together, but we didn't know. And yeah, I told friends, a couple friends, and then the partner at the time, but not parents. And then the second one, I did end up telling my mom just because the second one was much more difficult. Nobody's sure why, also. It just, the pain level was really, really high with the second one. I had just gotten my COVID vaccine, so the doctor theorized that I could have been a bit down for the count. With that, like, it was like days after getting it, so maybe I was a little under the weather, and that's why there was so much more pain. But the second one was very, very painful, like during and after the procedure, had a really bad aftermath. And so I did end up telling my mom after the second one, just because I was so, so, so sick and in so much pain. But the first one went pretty smoothly, I guess, actually. um, yeah.
Oh, well, that's amazing that you were able to tell her that in the end. Did you feel supported through that decision, whether it was through your partners or friends or your mom?
Yeah,
Time.
everyone involved, and it was a different partner this second time, but I'm still with him. Everyone involved was super supportive. Like there was not one person that ever suggested that I don't get an abortion. I think partially though that's because I don't. This is the other thing, is the second one was sadder for me. The first one was a lot easier in kind of every aspect. The second one, I felt sadder, that I had to do it, because the first one I was like, I barely know this guy. I'm like 29. That's still pretty young, and like whatever. I haven't gone through this before. I'm sure it's fine. I was like pretty relaxed about it. The second one was really sad because I was 30, and I kind of had maybe more of a serious relationship with the partner, and I'm still with him, like I said. So we're all good. But it was like sadder for me because something about being in my 30s really changed it for me, because I was like, dang, like maybe if I had just graduated college and I like had money now, maybe I wouldn't like have to, I like, it was more of a kind of a sadness, or not like I obviously I was not ever considering keeping it, but it was more of sad for me, the second one. I think it was just like that age thing, and there's just like a lot of pressure, societal pressure. Now being in like your 30s as a woman, it's like, okay, well, when you're 35, you're considered geriatric pregnancy. They still like, that's still a thing in Western medicine, apparently, that there's just like all these increased risks, and your fertility is like gone, and and so I'm like, oh god, I'm really feeling that like pressure that I have like a few years before I'm geriatric. Like, my god, like what a word. And so yeah, I'm feeling that pressure a lot. So I'd say that was probably what made the second one harder. And then also just kind of, yeah, reflecting back on life choices, and like wishing that I was a little more stable at this age. So that brought up more emotions for me than the first one. I was just like, whatever, lots of people go through it. So yeah, they're very different experiences.